7:47, moving up to 8 o'clock. Welcome back to Good Morning TNT. In this our final segment, we're focusing on the 8th America's Competitiveness Forum, which has started in earnest today, or will start in earnest today, and will be officially opened later on this evening. We have one of the guest speakers. His name is Mark Day. He's the General Manager, Government Industry, Worldwide Public Sector, Microsoft Corporation. As General Manager of the government industry for worldwide public sector at Microsoft, Mark oversees all facets of this critical business worldwide to help customers across central, local, and regional government create a real impact with their citizens in more than 180 countries. Mark, good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us this morning. You are going to be delivering today.
Correct.
Let's talk about how Microsoft feels about participation in this, the 8th America's Competitiveness Forum, especially with such a market, a captive market, 800 plus participants, 60 plus countries, many of your core jurisdictions that you already operate in.
Correct. Yeah, we're very excited to be here. It's a great honor to represent Microsoft. We are mostly interested in trying to see what we can do to help foster public and private partnerships and relationships. We're very excited to have our new Microsoft Innovation Center that just opened this week. And as a part of that, we want to use that structure and that center and really focus on what's the jobs development opportunity that we can create with the IT sector, and then what are the important parts of the economy where we can bring the public and private sector together to really foster new innovation and new ideas.
The theme of the conference is innovation and imagination. How does a company like Microsoft at this stage, with your track record and history of being the global dominant force in business solutions and software platforms, how do you look at innovation at this stage in Microsoft's evolution?
Great question. You know, the world has changed so quickly, really within the last 2 or 3 years. And what we're seeing today now is that there's this vast amount of data out there, ambient data. And the way in which data is used is literally through just about every mobile device you can think of. And now with the advent of cloud technologies, when you think about mobile and cloud together, really, it's the citizens that are bringing the great new innovations to the table, both to business and to the government. So this is a wonderful opportunity as a moment in time to capture their imagination and come up with ways using the Innovation Center and using the local community, both in the business and government sectors, to really put together some new applications, new ideas.
How do businesses and in some institutions, academic institutions, how should they start positioning themselves to take advantage of these opportunities with this much data? With the speed of evolution of technology, how should they start positioning themselves, especially small and medium-sized businesses, to really use the technology to move forward?
Well, I think the government of Trinidad and Tobago has done a great job publishing open data and providing data that's available for anyone to use. That's the first step in what's useful, what's great information that I can get access to today. The other thing to think about is the vast amount of ambient data that exists within buildings and restaurants and traffic lights, and there's all this data that's basically sitting out there not being used. How can we use that to create better decisions at the perimeter of when those decisions need to be made?
Well, one of Microsoft's strengths is the networking ability of your technologies and software. Is that also one of the opportunities where in the past disparate types of sectors are now coming together to make a bigger impact moving forward, to have a bigger impact moving forward, different kinds of synergies?
Yeah, it's fantastic. You know, I've had the opportunity to travel all over the world, and last week I was in New York City, or 2 weeks ago, for the General Assembly in the UN, and I met with several different government leaders, and all of whom were talking about Mark, can your company help us create a whole new bastion of technological innovation with the youth in our cities? The millennials will constitute 75% of our workforce worldwide by the year 2020. We need to take advantage of that amazing creativity and start to kind of think like a child again about what's possible. And using the imagination of the information that's available to us, what can we do with it if we put it in the hands of our youth and put it in the hands of young people and entrepreneurs, and even people who may be starting businesses at the latter stages of their career, to create new small businesses. And that's really what this forum is all about, and that's what Microsoft is all about, with doing things like creating this Innovation Center and creating these public and private partnerships.
How much emphasis is placed? I know it's big in Microsoft and research and development, but for countries like Trinidad and Tobago, for fora like these, the 8th Competitiveness Forum, how much should any country be focus be placed on research and development at this time in the context of innovation? Innovation doesn't just happen in a vacuum.
Yeah, well, you know, we at Microsoft, I mean, we pour more than $9 billion a year in research. That's a lot of money, obviously, but it's about 1/10 of our overall revenue. And when you think about that, I guess if that money's being applied usefully, that's just what we do. Now imagine what all these other small businesses in the ecosystem of more than 400,000 partners that we have worldwide should also be doing with their own time. Their time is more precious than the dollar, certainly. But you think about the fact that we've got an innovation center now in Trinidad and Tobago. We've only got 16 of these across the entire Caribbean and Latin American region, and only 115 of them around the globe. So this is a really special opportunity where we jointly believe with the Trinidad and Tobago government that you represent something incredibly special with the talent and prowess and potential that you have here in this part of the world.
It may seem like a really basic question, but what's the intention, overall intention of the Innovation Center, and how is it expected to work?
It's really all about creating new innovation to create new jobs. We think that it's important to us as a company, but it's important for global competitiveness, for national competitiveness. The more that we can help people here locally create and maintain wonderful IT skills for the next century, for the next 10 years as things are moving so fast, then, you know, not only does it help Trinidad and Tobago people become more competitive on a global stage, but it helps repatriate that talent back home so that you're not losing that talent to other countries.
And you're building more business and industry.
Exactly.
Mark, thanks so much. Much success with your delivery today. And more information you can get www.microsoftinnovationcenters.com. We've been talking to Mr. Mark Day, who is the General Manager, Government Industry and the Worldwide Public Sector Microsoft Corporation, and of course yesterday opening a Microsoft Center right here in Trinidad and Tobago. And that's our show for today. Thank you so much for viewing. On behalf of the entire team, we invite you to join us again tomorrow morning at 5:34. Good morning, TNT Thursday. Have a great day and be safe.
Be viewing